Hello, YouTube. This is Tina here with Reseller Mom, and welcome to my channel today. Today, we are going to be talking about Amazon giving three different answers for the same listing issue for three different sellers. So, the little bit of backstory here is we have a member in our bundles course group who was having problems listing a Stanley item that they bought, and they were able to sell other Stanley items, but not this Stanley item. And she asked Lucy and I if we would try to add this to our accounts to see if we were getting the same generic warning that she was getting. I did get that generic warning myself, and Lucy did not. So if you can tell us what happened for you, Lucy, when you tried to add the same ASIN.
So first up, I was restricted, and I have sold Stanley in the past, so that was kind of weird. But I went ahead and hit the, apply to list this brand or apply to sell this brand, and was automatically approved based off my performance matrices. So I didn't see the generic blurb at all, and was automatically auto approved to list the cup.
And then when I tried it, I got the generic error warning the same as she did. And I think that's the 5585 warning. But you'll know when you've tried to list generic listings, you get a warning that pops up that tells you you're attempting to change a listing, and it's just the generic warning. Well, I went and double checked the Amazon listing itself to verify, was it a Stanley item listed under the brand generic, and it was not. It was correctly branded as Stanley in Amazon's catalog. So I thought this has got to be some kind of glitch. And I took a screenshot of the error warning in my account, and I always include the search bar. It's always best to include the search bar in your screenshot. And if you can even show the date and timestamp, Amazon is now kicking back cases because of this. So just do it right the first time. So I took a screenshot of the generic warning in my account. The other thing that happened, which was also odd, is I went to check on the listing. You know how when you want to see if a listing is searchable in Amazon's catalog and you copy and paste the ASIN in there, it also gave a weird warning like this ASIN didn't even exist. So there is something wrong in the catalog. I went back to the Amazon listing and I looked at Keepa because I thought, well, does a Keepa also show no sales? Was it something that lost its browse nodes? What is going on with this listing? And it showed that it was actively and currently selling on Keepa. It had good rank, everything. So I also took a screenshot of this error in Amazon showing that this item, it's like it didn't exist. And I will be sharing screenshots of that here in the video so you can see what I'm talking about. And I uploaded those into my Amazon case, which was very simply written. And I will also be including a screenshot of that here so you can see what I wrote to Amazon. The next morning, I was approved to list this item, and I tried to add it into my account to verify, and I was successfully able to list this item. So then I asked her, how did your case turn out? Were you approved? And I gave her the exact verbiage I used, the same verbiage that I used in my case, and she got kicked back a denial. And what they wanted from her was for her to give them her batch ID, the SKU that she was using, and real world images of her item to show that it was in fact a generic item. What? So I sent to her the exact screenshots that I use. I said, take screenshots like this in your account, and then also give them the real world images that they are requesting. And then I wrote for her a reply, or basically a rebuttal to what they are saying. And I told her to point out that this listing is in fact branded Stanley, as it shows in the screenshot. And so I'm awaiting to see if she now wins this case. But this is the same ASIN that reseller mom did, that I did, and the member of our bundle group did, with 3 different responses.
It is amazing. And if you are, let's see here, sometimes with those responses, I like to get a little passive aggressive of my response. Apparently you did not read my complaint to the fullest extent, and throw a whole bunch of verbs back at them, because it just gets ridiculous. The canned responses that show that they didn't read what was going on. It's not the correct button. If you had to choose between 10 different responses, you picked the wrong one. And I also like to give them negative feedback. When you get those cases back and it says, please rate how we did. You did terrible. You didn't read what I wrote. You responded with the incorrect response, and it didn't solve the problem. So it was terrible. I mean, it was bottom of the bottom, and you should be rated that way. So I have a theory, Tina. I have a theory. Amazon has been going through the catalog and fixing brands, fixing a lot of things. And I have noticed with almost all of my Bath and Body Works, they went and fixed it from Bath and A-N-D Body Works to Bath and the and symbol, which is the proper way to list a Bath and Body Works, is with the and symbol, not A-N-D. And they went through and they fixed all of mine for me, which means that they also took away my GTIN exemption for them all, and are acting like idiots when I ask them about it. They're like, what exemption? I don't understand what you're talking about. So they are going through and fixing that. They are fixing up generic. And I think what they are doing is they're going through, and items that are listed as generic, they're looking to see if it's really branded and fixing it to the brand. And that's what I think that is getting caught up in. But that's just my theory on what's going on based on what I'm seeing.
Yeah, Amazon has done a lot of cleaning up and fixing since what was it, late summer, early fall last year, which is getting browse nodes all mixed up. It's causing a lot of issues in the catalog. Hopefully, once they've worked it all out, it will be a lot cleaner of a catalog and a better experience for all of us. Although in this interim time, it has made things very difficult and absolutely exasperating when you're trying to clean up your account and clean up the back end of these listings. And then a lot of times when you're trying to clean up these listings, Amazon does not allow you to, because you are not the brand owner. It's just a constant battle with fixing these things up in Amazon. And I read an article recently that said here at the beginning of this year, Amazon had kicked off, I want to say it was like 800 sellers. And it was a lot of these Chinese sellers that are on Amazon manipulating things within Amazon. And I'm glad that they are catching them and removing the bad sellers, because it's because of them that all of us are having the continuing problems that we are having because of these bad sellers on Amazon's platform.
I thought it was the Turkish sellers that got hit.
There were Turkish sellers that had gotten hit as well. That's a whole different article that I think came out. Was it in January? So yeah, there's just a lot of bad players out there.
Yes. So I spent a significant amount of man hours in the summer fighting a browse node change because they recategorized something that had an activity book into the book category and totally messed up my listing because it did not need to be under the book category. But because the computer saw that there was book in the name of the set, they just recategorized it for me. I had something recategorized last week. It's just getting ridiculous in all of their fixing. But interesting story. And that's why I love having our group. And I love it when people reach out to me and share what's worked, what's not worked. And we've just got to try a whole bunch of different things. You would think that this is very easy, that something that worked for one seller, that's now the answer for everybody. And a lot of people think that going into this, reading the boards and reading what people do, but really the outcome of certain things is different across the boards.
It can
It's
be different across the board, and what works for one, like you say, may not work for another, and it could be what rep you get. I mean, there's so many
Mhm.
factors that come into play, and so that really wraps up the topic today on this, and once I get a follow-up before this video goes live, if the follow-up letter I wrote for her works, I will make sure that I post it at the end of this video, and then stay tuned because we will have another story to be told on fighting a trademark violation on our next issue or our next video as the saga
Oh,
continues.
more Amazon battles. They're never done.
It's early in the morning and don't have all my brain functioning quite yet this morning. So thank you for watching today. If you haven't, click that like and subscribe, and make sure you watch us on our Friday morning live shows at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for watching.